In 1615, high in the mountains of old Japan, a master asked his student a question that sounded simple but carried a verdict. Tishi, if 10 enemies surround you, how many will you cut down? The boy answered fast, proud, certain. All 10, master. The old master did not raise his voice. He simply shook his head. None. Because the moment you try to defeat 10, you lose sight of the one in front of you. Your mind splits, your breath breaks, your hands obey panic instead of skill, and the first enemy takes your life while you are still counting the rest. This is the paradox that separated legends from graves. The highest level was never the sharpness of the blade. It was the sharpness of attention. It was the ability to stand inside a moment without leaking into the next one. And here is what matters for you. This principle is not about killing, it is about living. Right now you have 10 enemies: work, health, money, family, habits, temptations, distractions, fear, doubt, anger. And you are losing, not because you are weak, but because you are scattered. You wake up thinking about 20 problems and you cannot solve one. You sit with someone you love while your mind is somewhere else. You start a task while imagining the end, the reaction, the failure, the noise. So you move through your day half present and fully exhausted. If you can learn what the old warriors learned, you will stop bleeding energy. You will stop fighting shadows. You will handle one moment fully, then the next, and your life will become clean again. Chapter 1. The Awakening. Tishi meets his real enemy. The year is 1615. Japan has entered an age of order after long wars, but the mountain dojo in Hida still trains men in the old way. Not for performance, for survival. Tishi was 17. He had trained for 5 years. His strikes were fast. His footwork was precise. His posture looked perfect. If you watched him alone, you would think he was ready. But sparring revealed the truth. The moment pressure arrived, his mind ran away. What if I get hit? What if I look foolish? What if the master sees I am not special? His shoulders tightened, his breath shortened, his timing collapsed. He did not lose because he was untrained. He lost because he left the moment. The other students whispered what the master never said out loud. Good form, no spirit. A sword that shakes is a sword that dies. The final examination was approaching. A real encounter against a senior master, not to the death, but to the edge of it. A test that revealed whether a man had command over himself. Most took it at 18. Teeshi was already 17 and a half, and his teacher Yamamoto-sensei had not even mentioned it. One evening after training, Tishi approached the shrine at the front of the hall. The master sat kneeling, eyes calm, breathing slow, as if time did not touch him. Tishi knelt and waited. 5 minutes, 10, 15. Finally, the master opened his eyes. When will I be ready for the test? Tishi asked. The master studied him like a blade studies light. You are ready in technique, but technique is not readiness. Tishi swallowed. Then what is missing? Stand. Take your wooden sword. Tishi stood and gripped the bokken. Now strike me. The master remained kneeling, unarmed. A perfect opening. Tishi lifted the sword and froze. His hands trembled. I cannot, he said. Why not? Because you are my master. It is disrespectful. The master's gaze sharpened. Respect is not what stopped you. Fear did. Fear of consequence. Fear of judgment. Fear of what comes after you act. You hide behind manners because it feels noble, but it is only hesitation dressed well. Tishi's chest tightened. The master continued. Your mind is in 10 places. You are already imagining the next minute, the next reaction, the next outcome. So you never touch the present. You cannot become a warrior while living one step away from reality. Until you learn presence, you are only a corpse with good form. Go and sit with that. That night, Tishi did not sleep. He stared at moonlight and felt something heavy. He had sacrificed 5 years, pain, discipline, loneliness. and he was failing for a reason no muscle could fix. Not the sword, the mind. As dawn approached, he made a decision. He would find the missing piece, whatever it demanded. Chapter 2. The Principle. Shoshin. Beginner's Mind. The next morning, Yamamoto-sensei gathered the students. Today, no sword practice. Today, we clean. Some students felt insulted but stayed silent. They swept floors, washed boards, oiled tools, ordered the shrine, carried water, scrubbed walls. Tishi swept the same floor he had swept 100 times, but his mind was somewhere else. This is waste. I should be training. The test is coming. Then he noticed the master. The master swept too, but not like a task. Each stroke was complete. When the broom moved, the master moved with it. No extra tension, no hurry, no drifting. The motion looked simple, yet it had power, as if the master was not cleaning a floor, as if he was training something deeper. After the work, the master called Teeshi to a small side hall. A scroll hung on the wall, 2 characters painted with precision. Shoshin, the master pointed, Beginner's Mind. Do you know what it means? Tishi answered carefully. It means to be humble when learning. Surface answer, the master said. Deeper. When a beginner holds a sword for the first time, what fills his mind? Tishi thought. Curiosity, focus, and what else? Nothing else. Just the sword, just the moment. Yes, a beginner is empty of pride, empty of performance, empty of fear about reputation. He is not haunted by the future. He is not chained to past mistakes. He is simply here, learning one grip, one stance, one swing. The master sat. Tishi sat across from him. Now tell me, when you sweep, where is your mind? Tishi felt heat in his face. Not here. And when you spar? Not here. So you live in delay. You eat while thinking about training. You train while thinking about the test. You speak while thinking about your image. You are always one step away from what is real. This is why you break under pressure. The master's voice was quiet, not cruel. The warrior's greatest weapon is not the blade. It is attention, zanshin, awareness that remains, fudoshin, a mind that does not get pulled, heijoshin, an ordinary mind that stays steady. Different words, same direction, be here. Completely. Tishi stared at the scroll again. How do I practice this, master? Starting tomorrow, you will train in everything. Not just sword. Every act becomes practice. When you eat, eat. When you walk, walk. When you speak, speak. When you strike, there is only the strike. No extra conversation in your head. No hidden performance. No rehearsing. Only presence. For how long? Tishi asked. Until you understand. A month. A year. Maybe longer. It depends on how long you keep running away from the moment. That night, Tishi sat alone. He did not chase special experiences. He simply sat and watched his breath. Thoughts arrived like noise. Am I doing this right? What if I fail? What if I waste my years? Each time, he noticed the thought and returned to the breath. Here, now. Only this. It was harder than sword training, because the enemy was inside. If you are beginning to feel what this can do, stay with me. Subscribe to the channel. We train these principles here for modern life with discipline and clarity, not entertainment. Chapter 3. The Test. 30 Days of Presence. The first week felt like punishment. Everything slowed down. Breakfast felt long. Walking felt heavy. Even tying his belt felt strange because he was actually there for it. His mind rebelled. This is pointless. Others are improving. You are falling behind, but he kept practicing because the master had given him a path, and Tishi had decided to follow it. Week 2 brought a crack of light. During morning sitting, the internal noise stopped for a few seconds. No drama, no fireworks, just silence. In that silence, he heard things he had ignored for years. Wind in the trees, wood settling in the hall, his own heartbeat. It felt like waking up after living in a fog. The noise returned, but now he knew the truth. Silence exists. Presence is real. He intensified the practice. When sweeping, he became sweeping. Bristles on wood, muscles in the arms, rhythm in the breath. When eating, he tasted every bite. When walking, each step was complete. The students mocked him quietly. He eats like a monk. He walks like an old man. He has given up. The master said nothing. He watched. Week 3 brought sparring. Tishi faced Kenji, a strong student who had already passed his examination. Old Tishi would have been thinking, Kenji is better. Everyone is watching. Do not embarrass yourself. New Tishi stood and felt the floor under his feet. He felt the air in his lungs. He felt the distance between them. Kenji attacked fast overhead. Tishi moved. No hesitation, no inner speech. His body sidestepped, deflected, countered. Clean. Kenji blinked, confused. They engaged again. The fight did not feel like fighting. It felt like responding. Kenji moved. Tishi answered. Kenji changed rhythm. Tishi changed with it. Not from panic, from awareness. The session ended. Kenji bowed deeper than usual. Something changed in you, he said. Tishi bowed back. He understood what was happening. When you are present, you stop reacting from fear. You respond from reality, and reality moves faster than thoughts. That evening, Yamamoto-sensei called him. Tomorrow, you face your final test. Fear rose in Tishi, then passed. He returned to breath. Yes, master, I am ready. For the first time, he meant it. Chapter 4. Warrior Psychology. What presence does to a man. Let us be practical. Presence is not poetry. It is function. When you scatter your attention, you lose strength. When you train attention, you gain control. Modern psychology calls it attention regulation. When you constantly drift into past and future, you drain mental energy and inflate fear. When you return to the moment, you cut the fuel line to anxiety. This is why men who cannot focus are exhausted even when they do little. Their minds run marathons while their bodies sit still. Tishi's 30 days did something simple. He stopped feeding distractions. He stopped rehearsing outcomes. He stopped making imaginary battles. So his nervous system calmed, his breath deepened, his timing returned. Not because he became stronger, because he became here. The old masters knew this without theories. They trained presence because presence decides everything. In conflict, the man who stays in the moment sees openings. The man who panics sees only fear. In work, the man who stays in the task finishes. The man who lives in the future starts and abandons. In relationships, the man who stays present listens. The man who drifts loses people while still sitting beside them. Presence is a weapon because it gives you your life back, moment by moment. If this is hitting you, subscribe. This channel is for people who want to live with discipline, clarity, and calm strength. Chapter 5. The Examination. Steel and Wood. Dawn. The courtyard was quiet. Tishi stood in hakama and gi, bokken in hand. Across from him, Yamamoto-sensei held a real katana, sharpened steel. That was tradition. The student holds wood, the master holds truth. Witnesses gathered. Other students, visiting teachers. This was official. Yamamoto-sensei spoke. Teeshi trained 5 years. Today, he is tested. Not to defeat me. That is not the point. The point is whether he can remain present when pressure arrives. The master lowered into stance. The blade caught morning light. Tishi's heart struck hard in his chest. Old Tishi would have been drowning right now. What if I fail? What if I die? What will they think? New Tishi took one breath and felt the ground. Wind in bamboo, sun on steel. His master's eyes, here, now. The master attacked with a probing strike. Fast, controlled. Tishi moved, not thinking, not dreaming. The katana passed close. Tishi countered with restraint. They circled. The master increased speed. 2 strikes, angle change, footwork test. Tishi flowed, not as a performer, as a witness inside the moment. The steel never touched him. Murmurs rose among the watchers. This was unusual. Most students defended desperately. Tishi was responding with calm. The master turned intensity higher, closer to real violence. This was the level where panic usually takes over, and something happened. Tishi stopped trying to win, not because he gave up, because he realized winning is not the target, presence is. His breath stayed steady, his eyes stayed soft. His movements stayed complete. 3 minutes passed. In real conflict, that is an eternity. Then the master offered an opening, a wide gap, an invitation. The crowd expected Tishi to strike. Tishi saw the opening and did not take it, because presence showed the trap behind it. Overcommit and you die. The master saw Tishi's restraint. A silent recognition passed between them. Yamamoto-sensei lowered his katana. Enough! You have passed. The courtyard breathed again. Tishi bowed, trembling now, not from fear, from release. Later, alone, the master spoke. You came here wanting to become a great swordsman. Today, you became something better. You became present. The sword is only a tool. Presence is the weapon. When you refused the false opening, you showed wisdom. Many men lose because they chase what looks like victory. True mastery sees the hidden cost. Tishi nodded slowly. Master, I passed, but I feel like this is the beginning. The master smiled. It is. There is a second stage. Not more fighting, more refinement. You will train in the mountains for 1 year. Not religion, not rituals, just discipline of attention, silence training, work in simplicity, and return as a man who can carry calm into any storm. Tishi accepted, because he now understood. The battle was never outside. Chapter 6. The Deep Training Arc. 1 year of silence. The mountain retreat was simple. Cold mornings, hard floors, quiet days, no sword training, no sparring, only routine and attention. Wake before dawn, wash, sit in silence, work with hands, carry water, chop wood, clean tools, repair fences, eat simply, sit again, sleep early. The first month was brutal. Tishi's mind screamed, "You are wasting time. You are losing skill. You should be doing something important." But he kept returning to the present, because he had seen the truth. The mind creates noise when it cannot control. It tries to drag you into stories. The second month brought a turning point. While carrying water up stone steps, Tishi felt something. His mind was silent because his body was fully there. The weight of the buckets, the grip of the hands, the rhythm of steps. There was no room for performance, only reality. And he understood a deeper layer. Presence is not forcing thoughts to stop. Presence is refusing to follow them. Thoughts can exist. They just do not get to drive. Months passed. Tishi became a man of fewer words and stronger attention. He learned to do a task without rushing. He learned to speak without pretending. He learned to sit with discomfort without escaping to distraction. Then the head trainer gave him a mission. A village 3 days away has trouble. A group of violent men harass them. Go, handle it, return. Tishi felt the old warrior identity rise. Finally. Then he noticed it, the desire to prove. He breathed and let it settle. The goal is not ego. The goal is presence. He walked to the village like each step mattered, because each step was life. Chapter 7. The Final Confrontation. Ending conflict without losing yourself. The village was small, poor, afraid. The headman explained. 5 men, skilled, led by Katsuru, once a respected fighter, now bitter, now reckless. At dawn the men arrived, loud, armed, enjoying fear. Tishi walked out to meet them. He did not shout. He did not threaten. He stood calmly. The men laughed. 1 man against 5. Tishi's stillness changed the air. Katsuru narrowed his eyes. "You are not a farmer. Who are you?" "A student of discipline," Tishi said. Katsuru smirked. "Discipline will not stop steel." Tishi nodded. "Steel is not the only way men are stopped." Katsuru stepped closer. "Then stop us." Tishi looked at him with a calm gaze. "You were trained once. You did not start life wanting to terrorize weak people. Something broke you. Then you started breaking others." Katsuru's jaw tightened. "Do not speak to me like you know me." Tishi's voice stayed even. "I do not need to know your whole story to see the weight on your face. You are carrying anger like a weapon, and it is cutting you more than anyone else." One of the men spat. "Enough talk! Let me cut him down!" He drew his sword and rushed. Tishi did not move in panic. He shifted one step, calm and clean. The blade passed empty air. Tishi placed his wooden staff across the man's wrists and stripped the sword from his grip in one motion. No rage, no revenge, just precision. The man stumbled back, shocked. Katsuru stared. "You could have killed him," he said. Tishi answered. "I am not here to collect bodies. I am here to end harm. There is a difference." Silence. The men were confused. They expected fear or aggression. Tishi gave neither. Katsuru's voice lowered. "Why are you doing this?" Tishi took a breath. "Because the moment you keep hurting people, you keep feeding what is corrupt inside you, and I know what it means to live scattered, trapped, driven by noise. Presence saved me from my own weakness. It can save you from yours." Katsuru's eyes flickered. For a moment, the mask slipped. Then he looked away, angry at his own emotion. "What do you want?" "Leave them. Stop stealing. Stop making your pain everyone's prison. If you want to fight, fight your own collapse. That is the only worthy war." Katsuru breathed hard. He looked at the village, then at his men, then back at Tishi. He lowered his sword. "We leave," one man protested. Katsuru shut him down with a glance. "We leave. Now." They turned and walked away. The village stood stunned. Tishi had ended violence without becoming violent. He had faced 5 without losing himself. He returned to the mountains. The head trainer listened and asked one question. "What did you learn?" Tishi answered. "Presence is the highest weapon, not because it wins fights, because it prevents unnecessary fights. When you stay calm, you stop feeding chaos. When you do not react blindly, you do not multiply harm. When you are present, you can act with precision, then stop. No ego, no addiction to conflict." The trainer nodded. "Good, now return to your dojo. Teach what you became." Chapter 8. 10 years later. The broom returns. 10 years passed. Tishi now ran the mountain dojo. Yamamoto-sensei lived quietly in retirement. A new student arrived, young, gifted, hungry. "Master Tishi, I want to become the greatest swordsman in Japan." Tishi smiled gently. He had once said the same thing. "Come sit." They sat before the shrine. Tishi pointed to the scroll. "Shoshin. What does it mean?" "Beginner's mind," the student said. "And what is the secret inside it?" Tishi asked. The student hesitated. "Humility? Yes, and presence." The student looked unsure. Tishi leaned forward slightly. "There is no day when you become great. There is only this moment, and the next, and the next. If you cannot be fully present now, you will never arrive later. Later is built from now." The student frowned. "So how do I begin, master?" Tishi stood and placed a broom in his hands. "Sweep." The student looked disappointed. Tishi's voice was calm and final. "Sweep. And when you sweep, do not escape. Do not perform. Do not rush. Be with the broom. Be with the floor. Be with your breath. If you can do that, you can do anything. Because your real enemy is not 10 men outside. It is the scattered mind inside." The student began sweeping. Tishi watched him drift, then return, then drift, then return, and Tishi smiled again. Because this is how the path starts. Not with big speeches, with 1,000 small moments done completely. This is the way of the warrior, not violence, not domination, mastery of the self. If you want to train this in your own life, start today. Choose one task, do it with full attention, no phone, no background noise, no rushing, just presence. Then do the next task the same way, and you will feel something rare. Your life will stop slipping through your hands, your mind will stop tearing itself apart, you will become steady. Unshakable. If you want more teachings like this, subscribe. We are building modern discipline with ancient clarity. Walk with presence, live with purpose, and do not lose your life to 10 imaginary battles. Win the one moment in front of you.